From the actor's wife filing for divorce and beating him to the punch, to having crazy financial demands that threatened to bleed the Yellowstone star dry. Here's why Kevin Costner's divorce has turned into something really messy. Folks, Tinseltown has found yet another celebrity divorce to obsess over. And believe me, these two make Amber Heard and Johnny Depp look like they had their problems figured out. Kevin Costner and Christine Baumgartner's divorce has become the talk of the town, with new updates coming in every single day. And this just in, the actor was originally going to file the divorce papers, not his wife. You know, the way it ended up actually happening. Here's everything you need to know. The couple decided that things weren't working out between them and wanted to head towards a separation. Now, according to a prenup they'd signed, Costner was going to serve her papers. But Christine couldn't wait after the actor told their 3 kids about the divorce, which, by the way, is a whole other can of worms that we'll get into later. First, let me say what everyone's been thinking. Kevin wasn't the only one blindsided by this divorce, we all were. Seriously, did anyone expect this? They tied the knot back in 2004 and stayed together for a whopping 24 years. Of course, over time, the spark fades. But it didn't seem true for this couple. I mean, as recently as January 2023, the two seemed to be head over heels in love with each other. Consider their wholesome Golden Globes moment from January 2023, for instance. The two couldn't make it to the ceremony because of the floods in California. Did you know what Christine did to make the star feel better about missing out on it? She decorated their living room with balloons, and when he won the Best Actor in a Drama Series award, she made everyone stand up and cheer for him. For a few months, I thought that was couple goals. But clearly I was wrong. It's wild to think that in a matter of 5 months, the pair went from adorable to Christine maxing out her husband's credit card limit. Oh, and that too on divorce attorneys. I guess she's the sort of person who learns from other people's mistakes, because the lady isn't willing to take any chances. She doesn't want incompetent lawyers ruining the possibility of her landing a major chunk of Kevin's fortune. So she's making her ex pay for them. Talk about 2 birds with 1 stone. Now the actor has been pretty clear about 2 things. First, Christine sent all this money without his knowledge. And second, she's straight up violating their prenup. Any guesses on how much she spent already? $100,000, but that's not all for attorneys. Just to be on the safe side, she even got herself a forensic accountant. With such a qualified team, I guess it's safe to assume she'll be putting up one hell of a fight for the Costner fortune. And I really won't be surprised if the outcome is similar to the actor's previous divorce from Cindy Silva. Did you know wrapping up that relationship cost him $80 million? And if you're wondering, yes, to this day. It's one of the most expensive divorces in Hollywood. So, with Costner already dealing with that trauma, you can't blame him if he brings up the prenup occasionally. But here's where things get a little twisted. Even though Kevin's the biggest advocate of their premarital agreement, he's still not up for making it public. And that's precisely what his estranged wife wants him to do. Shady, I know. Now, our John Dutton doesn't want to share the details with the public because he's worried about burglars. Valid. But that's not all. He's concerned that sharing this confidential document with everyone might do some irreparable harm to his reputation. On top of that, unwanted media attention is going to follow, and fraudsters might come after Costner's $250 million fortune. Speaking of the couple's agreement, there's one more clause that Christine seems to be violating, and that's refusing to leave their house. Costner's legal team accused Baumgartner of violating the prenup yet again when she didn't leave the house after 30 days of filing for divorce. And although his lawyers are insisting that their client's the victim, Christine's legal team also fired back a response. They said that the request filed by Kevin seems to be kicking the kids and their mother out of the house, which was completely unethical and against the law. So, the couple's previously shared $145 million residence in California is pretty much under siege by Christine. You didn't see that coming now, did you? According to their prenup after filing for divorce, Costner would provide Baumgartner with a $1.2 million property, with the mortgage, insurance, and taxes are all taken care of for a year. Oh, and did you know? Kevin has already transferred $1.4 million to his ex-wife, but she's staying far away from that money because she thinks accepting it means she'll be taking the short end of the stick, allowing her ex's legal team to skim over her demand for child support. Still, Christine thinks she's got a right to stay in the house for as long as she likes. After all, she'd already handed a pretty serious warning to her husband. Baumgartner wasn't a big fan of Costner's busy schedule. In fact, she's still angry with him because till the very end, he still chose work over their marriage. And guys, this is where things get really crazy. Apparently, Christine handed her ex-husband an ultimatum. That's right. He was asked to choose between his wife or Yellowstone. That's not all. Christine gave him 6 months to think it through. And well, we all know how that turned out. Costner's work life had drawn a wedge between the couple, and they hardly got to spend any time together. Honestly, though, Kevin should have learned his lesson the first time around, since this is exactly why he got his first divorce. Now, Christine isn't only mad at her ex for picking his career over her, but she's also got a bone to pick with him about how he broke the news to their kids. Hold tight, folks, because it's about to get ugly. Costner, for some reason, thought it was okay to hop on a Zoom call from his hotel room and tell his kids they were getting divorced. Honestly, that's probably one of the worst ways to handle the situation, especially considering the fact that their kids are all teenagers, with the oldest one being 15. I'm gonna pick sides here and say Christine is right to be mad at the actor, because telling your kids about divorce isn't the sort of meeting you wrap up in 10 minutes. Instead, you try to make sure the whole family is there. But clearly, that wasn't a priority for Costner. So, it's really not that surprising that Costner woke up the next day to find divorce papers on his doorstep. There's one last twist in the story. Remember when Kevin's team said that according to the prenup, he should have been the one to file for divorce? Chances are his memory might be failing him, because on May 1st, his wife filed for divorce, and on May 3rd, it was revealed that Mr. Costner didn't want a divorce at all. I guess he just can't make up his mind. It was also revealed that if the actor could, he'd remedy the situation. But the circumstances were beyond his control. This saga becomes more and more dicey by the minute. Am I right? As the mess continues to unravel in the public, it was also revealed that Christine has made a wild demand. She asked for $248,000 in child support. Although the two have opted for joint custody, Baumgartner thinks that with her limited resources, she won't be able to provide a steady lifestyle for her children. Costner previously offered her $30,000 in child support, but that wasn't acceptable to his ex-wife at all. She said that the kids were used to a specific way of lifestyle, filled with private planes, elite schools, fancy vacations, membership to country clubs, private chefs, the works. But as a single mom with no job, she'll never be able to provide that. Christine wants the surety that Kevin will be paying for their school tuition, extracurricular activities, sports, and of course, healthcare. All these demands don't seem too crazy to her. After all, her estranged husband makes $1.5 million a month. But as for Baumgartner, she isn't employed. She was a handbag designer a while ago, but left that job to take care of her kids and look after their household. Currently, Christine only has $50,000 to her name, which isn't going to last them very long. The chances of this divorce resulting in a lengthy courtroom drama seem to be very high right now. After all, the two split up back in April 2023, and a conclusion to their divorce is nowhere in sight. And there you have it. From having crazy financial demands that threaten to bleed the Yellowstone star dry, to the actor's wife filing for divorce and beating him to the punch. That's all for how Kevin Costner's divorce has turned into something really messy.